Hey everybody, and welcome to another A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as He Sweet from the Reverse Thieves blog, as well as the Speakeasy podcast. And this time, I'm taking on one of the more popular series by looking at One Piece Chapter 729, Shichibukai Don Flamingo versus Shichibukai Law. And before we get into the main story, of course, Oda usually has a little side story going on, and this one is about pretty much the end of Karabu's little story. And once again, it's about another supervillain kind of making a turnaround in his life. But not fully. I mean, like Wapool kind of had a turnaround, but he's still kind of a douchebag at heart. I feel like Karabu, same thing. He's still not a good guy, but he's definitely a better guy than when we met him. And so yeah, he's being taken off by Drake and saying goodbye to everybody. And yeah, he's definitely not the total scum, like attempted slave trader that when we first saw him. But yeah, you never get the feeling that these guys are like 100%, went from super evil villain to good guy. Just like, he's not total scum now. And that is amusing. But yeah, his Che Guevara story is over. Or generally, we think it's over. But now time to get on to the real story, which is, this big fight that's been brewing between two of the seven warlords of the sea. And kind of one of the biggest bad guys in the series, Don Flamingo. But before that, we have to get to loser villain of loser villains, Bellamy, who's like, oh yeah, I could totally kill Luffy, and, maybe for once be respected by anybody. And, man, I thought this guy was so dead. I'm like, man, he was like one of the few people who died in One Piece who totally deserved it. But now he's still alive for some godforsaken reason. But that Dellinger kid, who I think it's supposed to be a guy in drag, but other than high heels, he really just looks like a kind of feminine guy or a really masculine girl. I'm not sure. But Dellinger's definitely an odd duck, no matter what his gender. And he's like, you're a loser. You're totally not going to kill Luffy, so don't even try it. And, we should probably kill you, because you're a loser. And, he's basically saying what the audience is thinking. This guy isn't worth anything. Don't try it. No, Bellamy, you're not, no. You're probably gonna fight him in the arena and I don't know, some D tier villain that just appeared in this chapter is gonna beat you. No. You're like Biggs and Wedge from Final Fantasy VII. You're not gonna take out anything. Don't feel no. But other than that shameful display. This is really good. I think this chapter has had a really good building up of the tension, especially since the Straw Hat crew has gotten kind of big. I feel like certain times in chapters, certain Straw Hats, now that the group has gotten really big, really get a chance to shine, and other Straw Hats are like, we're doing stuff in the background, and I guess we're okay in doing stuff. But I really feel like, especially in the last arc, when they were on the hot and cold island, certain Straw Hats really shined, and other Straw Hats were really kind of in the background. But I feel like this arc, with the arena, I mean, sometimes when they focus on Luffy in the arena, it's really a lot about him. But I feel like the other chapters really focus on the rest of the Straw Hats, what they're doing, and they all feel really integral. Like each of them is part of a plan. Each of them, when this revolution that's gonna breaks out, each of them is gonna be doing something really important. And when they fight members of the Don Flamingo Party, it isn't just gonna feel like they're just there to be fought by somebody. I feel like each of them is really going to have something to do, and somebody's really going to want to stop them from doing it. And I think that's, and once again, it's building. You've got Robin and Frankie and Usopp with the rebels, and you've got, other people, you know, like Brooke and Zoro outside the prison, and Luffy's in the arena, and Frankie, Chopper, and Nami are back on the ship, and everybody's gonna have to do something important. So, yeah, and when, they're not sure what to do, and when Frankie, makes the big speech about how he's gonna, they've got to support the rebels, I feel like Luffy's just like, sure, man, nah, this is for reals, I understand, just let loose the dogs of war. And so, it hasn't fully happened yet, but, well, because the end of the chapter is really going to be the catalyst that really sparks things, but kind of the slow build of tension with, the toys who are actually people, and, the Don Flamingo kind of, puppeteering the people, and these people being betrayed and these people being oppressed. It really feels like, and the Marines being all over the place, ready to capture all the criminals once the big tournament is over. It feels like they're just waiting for that one match to set off the powder keg, and that's really the fight. Why this chapter is called, the Don Flamingo versus Law. It's this fight that's setting it off, because Law is generally seen kind of like, a broken character. But, and Don Flamingo has always been a dangerous character. We definitely know he's not somebody you mess with, but I feel like him just totally running over Law like he was nothing really shows that Don Flamingo, is, to use the salty vet term, the real. Because, if he's taken out Law, who is already kind of broken, then he's got to be whatever is beyond broken. So, yeah, their fight is pretty, pretty one-sided. And, you get a little bit of, Law, who you weren't kind of sure whose side he was on. He's kind of doing things for selfish reasons, but, you definitely get the feeling, especially from his, what seems like his last stand, that he believed in the Straw Hat crew, and that, they could do this mission, and that, once again, I don't think anybody thought that Law was an angel, but, he obviously actually believed in the Straw Hats, even if, once again, he wasn't. Didn't have the greatest intentions. And yeah, when he gets seemingly, it is One Piece, so you're never really fully sure if anybody's dead, but his big, being gunned down after being defeated, and everybody kind of, Luffy and other people seeing that, I definitely get the feeling that this is the spark that's really going to set off all the powder that's been building up. So, yeah, this was a pretty great chapter. Really feels like not a climax of the story, but a climax of this tension. So everything is just going to, the next few chapters is going to be just things exploding. So that should be fun to see. That's really where Oda excels. So, see everybody at 7:30.